Hi, my name is Renee Pina, and I decided to do my project on the movie Alice in Wonderland. Um, I do have the original movie, well, not the original, but the live action and the sequel. So, like, I guess you get like a two-for-one deal. I will be focusing on Alice in Wonderland, the first movie, and I will be bringing in some, just like one little piece of evidence that will really tie into my project, I guess, from the second movie, which is Alice Through the Looking Glass. So a quick kind of summary of Alice in Wonderland, so you guys can like get the gist of it of for the people that haven't watched the movie. Um, so basically, Alice at a young age, which is that girl. She would actually visit this Wonderland, which is basically like an underground like magical universe. um, so basically in this like she would basically throughout the whole movie say that it was like a dream. It's a dream. Like she just knew it was a dream, and in this dream like she would talk to like animals like that would talk or either fly or like just different people with powers. Or I don't know what, like the queen. You guys like for sure know her. Um, the Queen of Hearts or like the Mad Hatter, which is like the clown. Yeah, she would just basically talk to a lot of different creatures or whatever, like be exposed to that. Like the cat would fly and just a lot of that. um, so yeah, like she basically already knew at a young age like that. She was kind of like I wouldn't say crazy. I would say more odd. Like I'll get into that later. But yeah, okay. So basically, she has these weird dreams at a young age. So then she becomes a teenager, which is like her now, and she's to be exact like 19 years old right here. And she kind of just basically forgot the meaning of her dreams, but like she remembers like the characters kind of. I don't know, it's more like she remembers them when she's in a dream, but when she's like awake it's like she just forgets about everything. um and yeah, so one day she's on her way to her like surprise proposal party by this guy named Hamish, but when which I will get into like more on later in the presentation. So yeah, so basically, like long story short, she ends up finding the white rabbit, and she basically ends up following it, and get the one right here. I'll show better pictures later. He has like a time, and like she basically sees him as he's already at they're like front and center, and he pops the question. She basically tells him that like she needs time to think about it, and she just runs off. But like in reality, I mean she does run off, but she also runs off to the rabbit because she like starts chasing it because she wants to like see what's up. So she starts chasing it, and then that's when she finally like the rabbit goes to this tree. It goes to the tree, and there's a hole. She looks at the hole, and I don't know, like she just ends up falling in there. And that's where what else? That's where like she reunites with like all these characters, and she has to like obey this prophecy. Oh, it's right here. It's basically like a in the movie. It's like this like script of everything. Like everything's just planned out, like of what she has to do, and like it's just like she has to do it. Like she has to kill the dragon, and that's basically the moral of the story. Like she kills the dragon. She basically like defeats the dragons. Like this queen's pet that like I don't know. Just she basically defeats them, wins victory, whatever. Like whatever you can say. Next question. So I personally like say that she has schizophrenia because she just like she's like having these hallucinations, not just in her dream, like oh we can say like oh it's just her dream, but like seeing the white rabbit running around, and I'll get into that more like, but right now I just want you guys to know that I believe she has schizophrenia because of her delusions, her hallucinations. But then I also found that she has ADHD, which these two are like interlinked in a way. So because she's very inattentive, she gets distracted really easily. um I'll get into that later too, like just giving examples. um what's it called, impulsivity and over curiosity. um she also has this because in when she's in her dream, um there's this like little potion where it says like drink me, and she drinks it, and then she like shrinks to like the size of the ant basically, and then like she just like doesn't really think about it, and then now she sees like a little cake, and it says like I think it also says eat me, and when she eats it like she gets into this like big giant like Bigfoot, like I don't know, like bigger. So yeah, like she doesn't really think about it, like she just I'll show you the clip right now, but yeah. And then lastly, um what was it? Alice in Wonderland syndrome. I didn't even know this was a thing. Like I honestly like I don't know. I thought like a random like fandom just made it up. But while I was like searching up stuff, I guess like it's a real thing, which is like it's basically the distortion of like size, time, and sound. So like you basically like see yourself like you just get bigger and then like smaller. And with the video that I'm gonna play right now, like you'll basically see what it not really what it is, but like you just like you get you lose track of time and sound, and like you just like think you're getting bigger and then smaller and then shrink. I don't know all that.
It's only a dream.
this from the first time.
The wrong Alice.
She's the right one. I'm certain of it.
She's the wrong Alice.
Give her a chance. Drink this quickly.
Let me out.
Not all of it. Oh no, stop. No, don't do that. Oh dear.
Okay, so in the first clip, you can see that, so basically she was trying to get through this tiny door that like was the only way out, and she couldn't fit, so then that's when she found a little drink that said drink me, and impulsively she just drank it, and then she got really tiny, and which ties into my ADHD belief, and not just that, like obviously it was her first time like thinking of it, so like she obviously didn't know it would make her that tiny, and then but then when she ate the cake, like she was like eating a lot, and like you would think like maybe she should like experience with how much to eat, but no, she got really big, the size of like the roof, like basically almost broke the walls, and then she had to drink the drink again, and that's when like you would think like, okay, let me drink like a tiny drop by a tiny drop so I can get like the perfect size, which she didn't. She drank I think almost all of it, and she shrunk again, like really really tiny, and then basically like further amplifying my impulsivity like argument, and basically here too, like she knew like she just knew like you shouldn't be drinking, I mean, or here like eating all of it, and the white rabbit even told her like, oh, not all of it, but I don't know if she was just hungry, but yeah, so she ate it, and she obviously got really really big, which led her to like be discovered by everyone. Okay, so enough with that. So like going back to the beginning of the movie, we get to see her father, because he ended up dying. They didn't discuss how or whatever, but the only clip we saw of him was in the beginning, and he was in a conference room with like a lot of different men, and basically he's like I guess he would own the ship, and he would like direct the ship, or like be like the head, I don't know what it's called, like he would basically like drive the ship. So yeah, he was also seen as very odd. I couldn't find any clips or any photos. Like this is like the best I could do. Like throughout my whole presentation, like some pics are a little bit blurry. But I he like proposed like an idea, and I guess it was like very odd. And then like another man said like, you are like very odd. You are very like, they basically were kept on telling him like, you're very strange. Like you think very strangely of things. And as they were having that conversation, that's when Alice walks in. I believe she's like 7-ish around here. She goes to, the door was open, she goes there, and she basically tells them like, oh, she's having dreams again or whatever. Then they go to the room, and she basically like tells him like, oh, am I mad? Like that's what she says, basically saying that she's all like, if there's something wrong with her, like she's just telling him like, oh, is there something wrong with her? And he says, I have a clip that like kind of further talks about this, but I believe the dad also had ADHD, like by how like he just acts like, I don't know, like I wish I could find the clip, but I can't. But yeah, he's just very odd, and I feel like maybe since ADHD is like hereditary, it for sure passed on to Alice. And schizophrenia is a chronic and severe mental health disorder that affects how a person thinks or like how they act. Basically making it difficult for them to like distinguish like reality with their imaginations, or like basically what they're seeing. And it's basically just like the movie we watched in class where I forgot his name, I don't know why I'm blanking out, but like he would like basically have an imaginary friend. What else? How basically how he would imagine like people and like his fake job and his everything. And that's basically what Alice is doing. So yeah, he's just very odd, and he even taught, or he would tell Alice to think of the seven most impossible things before breakfast. And yeah, I don't know, like I just feel like he has, or like had ADHD, and basically like ADHD and schizophrenia are like connected, like through like either genetic or like environmental like factors. And childhood ADHD increases like the risk of them developing schizophrenia like later on in life. And so that's like my little theory, that I think her dad had ADHD, and obviously like since it's like genetic, was not like always gonna like pass down to everyone, but I think it did pass down to her. And right now like she had like ADHD around this time because she wouldn't see any animals like in real life. It would only be in her dream. And then now when she's older, like that's when she started seeing it was like a butterfly, the rabbit, what else? a caterpillar. Like that's when like she got, I guess, formed the schizophrenia. And yeah, so hey Mitch, this was supposed to be like, I guess, her husband. And yeah, like it was a surprise. Like I guess she didn't know that he was gonna propose to her in that day, like that party was for her. So he asked her out to dance, and she basically like is just getting very distracted, further like going into my ADHD, or her, not mine. Yeah, like basically that she's getting very distracted. She sees a flock of birds flying by in the sky, and then like she like turns to look at them, and she asks him like, how would it feel to fly, or like I don't know what, like he basically asked her like, what's wrong with you, like why are you so distracted, or I don't know what. And she basically like told him like, oh, like how would it feel to fly, and then he told her that she's very strange, and I don't know what, like they basically always told her that she's very strange, she's very ordinary. um yeah, what else? I think that's it from that. This is Haymitch's mother, Lady Ascot, and right after they're done dancing, whatever, she asks Alice to come with her to like go walk around the garden. But it's basically for her to tell Alice like all the rules, like, oh, her son has to eat this, he can't eat this. Like basically just like this very strict mother-in-law, soon to be mother-in-law, that I don't know, she had these all these rules telling all the little restrictions, like oh what she should do, what she shouldn't do. And during as they were walking, so Alice would see the rabbit with the blue coat running around like the garden, and as she was like basically telling her what to do, like to make her son happy. I don't know, like she's just weird. Or I shouldn't say that, but yeah. So as that was happening, she would see the rabbit running, and she would interrupt her mother-in-law, basically telling like, "Oh, did you see that?" And then the mother-in-law would be like, "No, like." What are you saying? Like, and she would basically ignore it. And then Alice would see the rabbit again, and she would then tell her again, like, "Did you see that again? Like, it just passed by." And her mother-in-law would be like, basically, she said like, "Oh, Hamish told me about you being very what's the word, distracted." I don't know, I can't think of the word, but like basically further going into the ADHD factor. So yeah, basically but then Alice sees it for the last time, and it's like the rabbit stops at like this little hallway entry through like the garden, like the bush fence, and it basically has a ticking clock, and it's basically like telling her like to hurry up, like come with him, or I don't know what. And she's talking, and then Alice interrupts her, and she's just like, "Oh, like I'm really sorry, but I need to go." And she ends up just like cutting her off and isn't letting her finish her thoughts, which is like another thing where like for ADHD, like they just interrupt you, like they want their point to get through first, or like I don't know. And that's basically what Alice did. She ends up running towards the rabbit, but like it just escapes, like she doesn't end up catching up.
The gardens are planted white roses when I specifically asked for red.
You could always paint the roses red.
What an odd thing to say.
Okay, so basically all the Tim Burton movies are like they just have a lot of conspiracy theories like that just go on and on and on and on. Like the Coraline movie, there's just so many theories, and I don't know. And it's also the same for Alice in Wonderland. Like there's just so many theories, but the one that I kind of just mainly most agreed with is this one. And basically I just feel like in her dream, so this is like a picture of the prophecy. It's basically like a big like script, like a map, and like the pictures would move. So like she would see, like you would see like her like slaying the dragon with the sword, and it's basically like a timeline that had it all pictured out. Like when at the end she slays them in victory, and like it showed like all the little obstacles. And it's and here like in her dream, like basically they she was like so how to say it? It was like destined for her. Like she had to slay the dragon. Like it's just a lot to the movie. Basically, she was saying that she couldn't like kill a dragon. How she gonna kill a dragon? But everyone, like all the characters, they would tell her like, no, like you have to kill it. It's like in the script, like you're gonna end up killing it, like, and I don't know what. So and I feel like it's just like a oh, how would I say it? Like in real life, okay, so basically in real life, she everyone expects her to marry Haymitch, and so it's just like something like that. It's almost like bound to happen. Like everyone expects her to marry him, and then in the dream, like everyone expects her to kill the dragon. And basically, so going here, like since it's her dream, the people in her real life, like she sees them also like the alternate version in her dream. So the most obvious one was Fiona and Faith, and I think they were like her friends, or I don't know. They're just these twins that are just kind of like really dumb, and they like resemble a lot Tweedledee and Tweedledum, where like they just constantly like bicker. And more of the story, like they basically spoiled the surprise party that like everyone kept so hard, like they tried so hard not to like ruin the surprise, but they basically ruined it. And it's basically like them, like they just like not really ruined everything, but they're just kind of like they're just dumb. um and then also like in real life she has Hamish's mother, which is very strict, very just very, I don't know, like hard on everyone. And in the dream, like this is like her version. And the Queen of Hearts is very known for being very demanding, very just rude, and yeah. And then so I didn't get to show you a picture of Alice's sister, but this is basically Alice's brother-in-law, and he's married to her sister. And in like real life, she catches him making out with another girl, basically cheating. And then here in the dream, Knave of Hearts is like dating Queen of Hearts, and when they're alone, like Knave of Hearts approaches Alice and like tries to make out with her, and basically like just resembling like her um, real life. So yeah, like, and then out on Emojine, I don't know how to pronounce her name. So basically, like in the movie, she's very like also like delusional, like expecting, waiting for her prince to come, like when there's literally no prince. What's it called? And they just like the Mad March here is like very like crazy, like I don't know, you just have to watch the movie to understand. And like they both have like in common like insanity and like a weird like look. Like you can't really see in this picture, but like I don't know, like I feel like you can just tell. And then you can just tell here like he's just like very like crazy. So I feel like it's just like her. So here's where the second movie comes in. I can't really go too much into detail. But she ends up like seeing a blue butterfly again, and like in the building, and like obviously they're really rare, like how are you gonna see a real blue butterfly, which ties into her schizophrenia. She's seeing things, and the blue butterfly like goes into this room, flies into this room, and she follows the butterfly. It leads her into this room, and she basically like she was also trying to escape Haymitch, because it's just a long story. So she basically goes into a room, she locks herself, and she just like sees this mirror, which hence the title Alistair the Looking Glass. So she sees that the mirror is like very weird, and like in the movie, like it's almost like water where like if you tap it, like it like vibrates in a way. And since she locked the door, like people were trying to look for her, so like they noticed she was in there. So like they're like kind of banging on the door, and like her last option was to like go through the window. Basically, she goes through the window, and then she's back again to the Wonderland, like underground, and she again reunites with everyone. A new problem is like formed where she has to like then problem solve whatever. And but my main like point is that later on this movie, the sequel, she basically wakes up and she's found in like a psychiatric like building, and I'll show you in the clip better, but like right here I'm guessing that's like a psychologist, and like they're basically like helping, like are gonna treat her to like better herself. And
Where am I? You're in an institution. How long have I been here? Not long. You were found in an upstairs room at the Ascots. Hamish had you brought here. You were behaving so strangely. They say you're trying to get under the furniture. Talking about the atmosphere. The chronosphere. Matter. I've got to go back.
Let's see. Excitable, emotional, prone to fantasy. Textbook case of female hysteria. Untreatable, some say. I beg to differ.
There's nothing wrong with me.
Lie back, Alice. Lie back.
But it's simply necessary.
Alice!
Three years of sequel with anything. It's how to bloody good enough.
so after she breaks out, I'm pretty, yeah, she went back to the um palace, and she basically, yeah, I'm pretty sure she went again through that same mirror, and like she again like went to the alternate universe, or I guess you can say her dream. But yeah, so in the movie it was kind of hard to hear, but basically she woke up, her mom was like basically woke her up like, oh, like wake up, and she woke up, and yeah, she basically told her like, you're in here because they found you. Well, according to Alice, she went through the glass, like she would teleport or whatever, but like I guess in reality she was basically like hiding under like furniture, and basically saying like, girl, like you didn't go nowhere, you were in here. So yeah, like, and then that's why she was in here, and then that's why like I don't know, like the doctor, whatever he was very like skeptical, I don't know what. So like Okay, that's besides the point, but yeah, like basically concluding to my fact that like she has schizophrenia because like she obviously didn't teleport through the freaking mirror, and then instead she was like hiding under furniture. I don't know what, like I don't know how she knocked out. I don't know what happened, but yeah. And then, so thank you for listening to my presentation. I really hope you guys liked it, and yeah, here's some of my facts, my sources.